Let's be real. Getting students ready for the STAR Extended Constructed Response is a lot. It's a huge undertaking. But what if you had an expert assistant, one that's available 24/7, ready to give instant, perfectly aligned feedback? Well, today, we're going to dive into exactly that, your new AI Second Rater.
All right, here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about the big challenge with STAR writing. Then, I'll introduce you to the AI Second Rater. After that, we're going to pop the hood and see exactly how this bot scores writing. And finally, we'll talk about how to take those scores and turn them into real, actionable strategies for your students.
Okay, first up, let's set the stage. The STAR Writing Challenge. It really all comes down to one thing: the need for feedback that's not just fast, but is also perfectly aligned with the real test. You know this better than anyone. Prepping students for the ECR, the Extended Constructed Response, feels like a marathon, right? It demands constant, detailed, super high-quality feedback for every single student. And with a class full of essays, giving that kind of specific, timely insight, well, it's a massive challenge.
So, how in the world do we solve that problem? Let's move on and introduce a really powerful new tool in your toolkit, your AI Second Rater.
This really brings us to the million-dollar question, doesn't it? How can our students get that immediate feedback that isn't just generic, but that perfectly mirrors how they'll be scored on the actual STAR test?
And here is the answer: the 2526 BM1 ECR Second Rater tools. Now, these are not your average grammar checkers. This is a whole suite of specialized AI bots, and each one is designed to give instant, personalized feedback that is precisely aligned with the STAR test.
Now, to really get why this tool is such a game changer, you have to understand how the official STAR test is scored. Every single student essay is read and graded by two separate, independent human scores. Each one gives the essay a score, and then those two scores are just added together.
So, since each rater gives a score out of 5 points, the highest possible score a student can get is a 10. That's the magic number, right? A 10. It's the combined judgment of two different experts.
And that right there is where the name Second Rater comes from. Think about it. You, the teacher, are always the first and most important rater. This bot, it acts as that objective second rater. It gives you an instant score. So by doubling the bot's 5-point score, you and your student get a really realistic idea of what that final 10-point STAR score could be. And this is absolutely not a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. There are 6 specialized bots ready to go for grades 3, 4, and 5 in both English and Spanish. And get this, each one comes preloaded with the exact passage and prompt for that specific benchmark test. We're talking Surprise Kick for 4th grade English, or Las Conchas de Retazos for 4th grade Spanish. It is completely customized.
All right, so you're probably wondering, how does this thing actually work? Let's look under the hood and see exactly how the bot scores student writing. It's not a mystery box, I promise. Everything the bot does is built on the official 5-point rubric from the TEA, the Texas Education Agency. And that 5-point score is broken down into 2 main parts. You've got organization and development of ideas, which is worth up to 3 points, and then writing conventions, which is worth up to 2 points.
Now, here is a super critical detail from the official scoring guide, and it shows you just how deeply this tool is aligned. It's called the 0 rule. The TEA rubric says that if an essay gets a 0 for organization and development, meaning it's totally off topic or blank, it automatically gets a 0 for conventions too, and the bot is programmed with that exact same rule. This is so important because it reinforces to students that having on-topic, developed ideas is the absolute foundation of their entire essay.
So how does the bot figure out that organization and development score? Well, it's been trained to look for a strategy you probably already use, the RACE strategy. It's looking to see if the student can restate the question, answer it, cite evidence from the text, and then explain how that evidence actually proves their answer.
Okay, so what about that second part of the score, writing conventions? This is worth up to 2 points, and it covers all the nuts and bolts: sentence structure, punctuation, capitalization, grammar, and spelling. And here's a fantastic piece of info to share with your students, maybe to lower some of that writing anxiety. The official rubric, and because of that, the bot, is actually pretty generous here. To get that top score of 2 in conventions, a student's writing does not have to be perfect. A few minor mistakes are totally fine, as long as they don't mess up the reader's understanding of their idea.
So now for the best part. Let's see how this all comes together. We're moving from just a score to a real strategy. This is where a number gets transformed into a powerful plan for student growth.
The AI rater doesn't just spit out a number and call it a day. No way. As you can see right here in the interface, it gives you a full, detailed breakdown of the student's performance. And this is the actionable feedback that really drives improvement.
So, the bot's output gives you separate scores for organization and for conventions, so you know exactly where the student is strong and where they need help. It also gives you that doubled total score to simulate the 10-point STAR scale. But honestly, the most important part? It lists out specific strengths and targeted areas for improvement to guide what you and the student do next.
And you can have total confidence in this feedback. The bot's entire analysis is modeled on the official 2025 TGA scoring exemplars. You know, those sample essays that the state itself releases to show what a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5-point paper actually looks like? Yeah, the alignment is rock solid.
So, we'll just end with this thought. What if every single one of your students could get immediate, expert-level feedback on every single practice essay they write? Imagine instantly turning every practice session into visible, measurable progress. That's the potential we're talking about here.